Thank you for supporting Community Radio, KPFT Houston, 90.1 FM.
Hi, this is Jack. Can I take your request?
Into the great wide open.
It's the Rockin' Friday edition of the Great Wide Open. Every Friday at 9:30, we take in your requests and play them. My friend Jack and I are waiting for yours. Call early, call often.
Oh, man, that's a good one.
The Rockin' Friday and request edition of the Great Wide Open, Friday starting at 9:30 in the morning here on KPFT.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to Living Art. We're coming to you from the studios on Caroline, live as always. Michael Woodson with Michael Carson, and you're listening to KPFT Houston 90.1, and we are streaming at kpft.org HD1, and it's also archived for 30 days, 60 days, and it's just really great to have you with us. Thanks for tuning in, and Michael Carson.
Good to see you, Michael.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Good to be back in lovely Houston, a little chilly. It's good to be. How's it been? How's the last 2 weeks? Who's been on air?
Musicians and theater writers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about satire in the theater, and of course, politics came up.
Of course,
yeah. It's all about the elections.
Right? Yeah, I feel I've been traveling, and it's like every conversation just circles back. Yeah, it's on again.
It's
people
on.
are ready. Yeah. So it should be an interesting year of interviews, having people on, kind of connecting art to politics and the history of art in its relationship to politics. I mean, as we always do.
Right. So the B word and the T word came up. Yep. And we had to talk about the politicians, Biden and Trump.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I was like on air. Okay, wow. Well, it's good. Yeah, this is the year for it. People are thinking about it. And yeah, I think it's important to me. It's exciting to be kind of part of Living Art. I mean, we know everyone's going to be talking about that kind of stuff, right? But we have kind of this unique angle where we can see how art connects to these things, speaks to it, doesn't rise above, kind of takes in different directions, unexpected directions. And yeah, it's a privilege to be part of this show and to be back here, back in Living Art in the studios and kind of talking about the community and artists in the Houston community.
Yes, it's great to have you back. We missed you. Messiah, my guy who's on the boards, he was with us the whole time too. Spent his holiday with us. How you doing tonight, Messiah?
I am loud. I'm good. It was great. Hung out and did a whole lot of nothing.
Messiah's got a new camera here, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
This is 360 camera. It's pretty impressive. And so will this be aired as well later for people who could watch us?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to work my magic on it and with my magic and KPFT's audio magic, and it'll be up probably tomorrow.
Excellent. Where can people watch this if they wanted to?
I just been uploading it to my personal channel.
So you can watch by yourself.
Yeah, it'll be on Visuals by Messiah on YouTube.
Okay. Visuals by Messiah.
All right, yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
And then always you could do a plug for our social media before we start if you want to check us out. We have a new year coming up, right? And we've had a lot of artists this last couple months, right? We want to keep it up, though, and to reach out to your email, right? 3 trillion, is that, what's it, Michael Woodson at Tree? What is it?
Just 3 trillion at Yahoo. Yeah, and we're on a run, right? Like 6 to 8 weeks of guests who have solicited appearances on the Mighty 90 KPFT. So if you would like to be an artist on the Living Art Show, just shoot me an email at 3 trillion. Just spell it out, 3 trillion at yahoo.com. And also, we have a Facebook and we have an Instagram, and you can just look at Living Art Houston, and there we are.
Yeah, appreciate any kind of follows on that, and then also any support, donations to
Fund
keep
drive,
we have a fund drive coming up, keep the station going, keep this show going, promoting the community, but also community artists like we have on tonight. And yeah, we just appreciate your support this last year, and anything you can give to keep us going, and to keep. Yeah, especially at a time like this, as we get more like the political pressures of the world, we need local voices. I'm passionate about that, and I'm excited to be part of it, and appreciate anything you can give to us.
Yeah, so that's kpft.org, and just click donate. And we had a silent fund drive, but I guess I dropped the ball on that one. I mean, we did have one donor, but we didn't even mention it. But if you do donate at kpft.org, we get word of your generosity, and we will thank you on the air.
Yeah, that'd be huge. And sustained pledges, it's a little bit each month. Keep us going, and then you can be thanked live. That's a big deal. You're famous.
You can come on the radio and
Right.
thank yourself, whatever it takes.
We're here for you. It's great to be back, and great to be talking about art. And we're going to be thinking about art and its relationship to mental health tonight in some interesting ways. I'm excited about that. That's a passion of mine as well. And so, anything else we should add before we jump in?
No, I think we're ready to introduce Tristan.
Okay. So welcome, Tristan.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. It's Tristan Ellis, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And wonderful to have you. You came to us thinking about your portfolio, just kind of this idea, this art you're putting out to the world. I want to talk about mental health and art. But before we go there, I guess, could you talk about how you came to the Houston area and how you got into art in the first place?
Yes, sir. So I've been creating art since before I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
It has always been a part of my life. My first memories are of my parents bringing me little lined notebooks where I would draw in the margins and create little sketchbooks and floor plans in those pages.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And from
So floor plans, like an early age, you're already
Yes.
drawing like architectural floor
I
plans.
didn't,
Okay.
at the time, I didn't understand that was what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back, architecture and art and design has always been a part of my life.
Okay, so at that age, I was drawing like superhero people, with stick figures, and you're drawing houses. Okay, yeah.
Yes,
Or-
sir.
was it houses or just any kind of buildings, or do you remember?
I can clearly remember a few houses that I designed. They were all very silly and elaborate with a lot of things that weren't very necessary. But it was,
Gratuitous. It's good. That's what it needs. That's good.
it was a lot of houses, and then a lot of character design. I grew up kind of at the beginning of the YouTube university era, so I used to watch a lot of tutorials and things like that. And then from there, I kind of honed the skills that I kind of portray in my art now.
Oh, wow.
How did you get to Houston?
So I was originally born in San Diego. Both of my parents are in the military, or retired now, but were in the military. And then from there, I went to Virginia, and I lived in Virginia for about 7-8 years.
Okay.
And then when my father retired, I moved to Houston. And then I was here from the end of middle school to high school.
And you're at Howard now, so tell us a little bit about what you do at Howard.
Yes, sir. I am an architecture major at Howard. I'm in the 5-year architecture program. I love it so far. I'm finishing up my second year right now.
And tell us a little bit about Howard, because that's like classic, all-time important.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
a
place.
big deal school, but it might not be familiar to the local listeners.
Yeah. So Howard is one of the top HBCUs in the country. For me, it has been kind of one of the driving forces for why I'm here today and why I've done so many things. It's just a lot of driven people with a lot of similar mindsets. So being around people like that just causes you to want to go at it every day. And those days where you feel like you might be slacking or you want to just have a lazy day, all your friends are at your door saying, come on, we have to go make something today.
So it's not like, do you feel like competitive in that way, or do you feel it's like a good competition, like everyone's just helping each other, pushing each
It's
other?
definitely competitive, but I feel like it's definitely healthy at the same time.
Okay.
It's not really a lot of people trying to bring each other down. Everyone wants to see each other succeed, but we
Okay.
always push each other.
That's good. Yeah, I did not get that in college. People come to my door, trying to push me in that way. It's the opposite. That's awesome. And so you enjoyed your time at Howard, your second year there.
Yes, sir.
And
Can you? I'm very interested in Howard, and you're the closest contact I have to it now. So, like the curricula, tell us a little bit about that.
So my experience is a bit different since I'm in the architecture program. But my first year we had just the main general education courses, so math, English, things like that. And then we started to kind of move into the architecture-based courses, so an intro to studio. This year we began our second studio, and in studio we really just kind of focus on the whole of architecture, just conveying your idea and being able to have the skills necessary to communicate what you want the design to say. And then we have a few specialty courses, I guess you could call them, where they teach us the CAD programming, which is computer-aided design, and just how to express your design digitally and kind of be able to keep up with everyone in the industry right now.
I'm thinking architecture means more than buildings.
Definitely.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So right now, I feel like it's a turning point in architecture. I don't know exactly when it started, but I feel like a lot of the architecture in our country wasn't designed for humans. It's not designed to kind of cater to a healthy human experience. A lot of it is built to impose their own kind of agenda. So you see a lot of brutalist architecture in DC, where it's meant to kind of create this feeling of kind of power and strength. And then towards the Capitol, you see a lot of designs that are more similar to the Romanesque era, where they kind of want to cater and reflect their connection to democracy. So you see a lot of reflection from the past and not a lot of growth towards a future, where kind of, we can touch on this later, but I feel like people are very disconnected right now, and I feel like a lot of people are very lonely, and I feel like the architecture isn't building to kind of tackle these issues. And I feel like that's what good architecture does. It tackles problems that humans are having, because I feel like humans, yes, we have our own emotion, but a lot of those emotions are kind of brought about by our environments. And that's one of the main jobs of an architect, is to create and curate these environments for humans to live in.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm curious. I grew up in the DC area. So did you feel like the architecture, do you feel it's like lonely making, or somehow like inspires because it looks towards the past, or what do you think?
I feel the architecture towards the Capitol and in the downtown area definitely kind of creates that emotion. A lot of the row houses and houses in Maryland and Virginia, I feel like they create a more warm feeling. There's a bit more space. Everything isn't on top of each other. There's a bit more room to breathe. That was something I noticed coming back from DC over my break. I felt like I hadn't really breathed or had an opportunity to breathe in a while. So kind of being in an area that's not as stuffy and enclosed, and just sitting out in my backyard and looking up at the sky for an hour.
Yeah, it's nice getting back to Texas.
Yes.
I've been there a couple of times. Yeah, the closeness of it. And DC is weird because it has I think it has like a law in effect where you can't have buildings a certain size,
Yes.
right? And so it limits things.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how that creates this space, because it's a unique space, I
Right.
guess, and that takes a lot of restrictions to make that happen.
Right.
And you don't feel that as much in Houston when you come here. Like, do you feel that same like loneliness? I guess I'm interested. Yeah.
I feel like Houston is such a diverse area, and the building codes are different in Houston as well. They're a bit more lax, where people can build kind of whatever they want and different areas. So you drive through the city and it feels a bit more chaotic. But I feel like that chaos kind of brings that human element back into the architecture.
Okay.
Because you can drive down one street and there's a skyscraper, and then a few blocks over there's a little shack.
Yeah.
So I feel like that diversity in the architecture is kind of appealing and makes it a bit more comfortable.
Oh, I love that. So you never know what's going to happen. It's
Yeah.
the excitement of just being existence people.
Yes.
And like it takes away from the loneliness. It's also kind of future. Is that what you mean by future thinking or future forward thinking? Or are you more something different in mind?
I think spaces that understand kind of the impact on that they have on people. So like, let's say ceiling height, for example. If you have a very low ceiling, it can kind of cause people to become hunched over, and it has a physical effect on people. But then you have a high ceiling that causes people to stand a bit more upright, be a bit more proud, and feel a bit less, again, claustrophobic. I had the opportunity to visit Falling Water. It was built by Frank Lloyd Wright. He is a famous architect, and he kind of played with that kind of concept of ceiling height and small and opening spaces. So I feel like architecture that consciously did that is the future. Something that can create spaces where a person, if they need an opportunity to kind of breathe in a city environment, they have that, rather than just feeling kind of closed and enclosed. Because I feel like that's taxing over time. People get a bit bogged down.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's funny to think our bodies grow into the spaces that we give them. Yeah, and so if you have like bigger ceilings, people will grow taller or something, like in a literal way.